everyone, hope you're doing well. There's a new devblog out for the next update, and it's a pre-order for the Al-Khalid-I. This is a pre-order which is coming in for the Chinese ground tech tree, and is a very high tier MBT. It's a rank 7, which means it'll efficiently grind all of the tech tree for you, which is absolutely nuts. We had a look at it on the dev server if you want to check out the video, but I will also say the model was not finished, so it didn't have the right armor, and it didn't have other right specs. When it is fully updated, I'll make sure to do another video on it for you, just to check it out. Also, in this video, we'll look through the pack, we'll look through its general use, and also, if you decide to purchase it, make sure to use my partner link, so you can get yourself a discount. You can also support the channel at the same time, which is obviously quite nice. There is a little event going on as well for VJ Day, which is the Victory over Japan Day by the Allied Forces. All you got to do is play 3 battles using US vehicles at rank 3 or higher until the 5th of September. So just play 3 battles, get the decal, c'est la vie. Let's get into the Al-Khalid-I. So the first part of it is the pack itself. They're giving you a bunch of goodies in it. First of all, 20 days of premium accounts, 2,500 golden eagles, and also a bunch of pre-order bonuses, including a pretty cool title. The title is the Eternal Tank, which is kind of the nickname of the Al-Khalid-I, which is also quite hilarious, because Pakistan is looking to import a bunch of other tanks, so not exactly eternal. The other one is you get the Markhor decal for the vehicle, and also a unique digital camouflage, which is similar to the digital camouflages that you see on the Chinese vehicles. So the pack itself has a bunch of pre-order stuff, which is really nice, and also, since it's a rank 7 vehicle, it'll be able to grind out the whole tech tree at very high rewards and bonuses, which is lovely. Let's get into the history of this vehicle. The Al-Khalid-I upgrade program was designed to improve the combat effectiveness of Pakistan's MBT-2000, which was the Al-Khalid main battle tanks. The upgrade priorities included improving the fire control system and onboard electronics, and more effectively positioning ERA on the turret. The Al-Khalid-I is currently in service with Pakistan, the largest operator of the MBT-2000 family of tanks. So at least on the dev server, the Al-Khalid-I was at 10.7, which is exactly the same BR as the MBT-2000, which shouldn't really be too surprising because they're basically the same machine. As talked about, the only real difference is some of the ERA on the turret, which won't really make too much of a difference to the survivability of the vehicle. Generally, it will be fine. On the upper glacis, there is also some missing, which may make a difference, especially since one of the big weak spots of these Chinese MBTs is their lower glacis. The driver's port on the lower glacis is usually where you hit these things, or the breach, of course, to try and disable them. And this Al-Khalid-I is no different compared to the rest of its cousins. It's really cool that it's a Pakistani vehicle. We're getting 2 big banger Pakistani vehicles in this update with the JF-17 and this vehicle. This shows more of a commitment when it comes to War Thunder and their expansion of countries as they're going around. Obviously, previously we had some Indian vehicles. Now it's time for Pakistan, and then maybe later on we'll get access to more tech tree vehicles. The Al-Khalid-I is very similar to the MBT-2000 though, so if you want to check its stats, it's already in War Thunder, so you can just check it in the Chinese tech tree. Remember though, if you haven't got it spaded, it won't show the proper stats in terms of targeting speed and also the engine power. Those are slightly different, but once you have it spaded, it'll make sense. This vehicle has a 1200 horsepower engine, which doesn't seem like too much, but is good enough for this vehicle to motor. A lot of vehicles around this BR have 1500 horsepower engines, but they're also a lot bigger and a lot fatter. So basically 1200 horsepower is enough. The big upgrade over a lot of Chinese MBTs and this vehicle is the transmission though. The transmission means that you can reverse at a very good speed and you can get out of danger as quickly as you get into danger, which is super useful. The other part is the autoloader. The autoloader on this thing is a 22 round autoloader, and it's very much similar to the T-72 one that you'll find on the Soviet vehicles. This means that it's stuck with a 7.1 second reload, and I don't know why they don't change this for some of the Chinese vehicles. With the Soviet vehicles, you either have 7.1 with the T-72s, or as you get to the higher T-80s, it goes down to 6.5 seconds. But for some reason, every single one of the Chinese MBTs has the 7.1 second reload. And with stuff like the Abrams getting a better reload, getting the 5-second reload, stuff like other vehicles which are manually loaded, out reloading these things, it can be really annoying to actually fight other vehicles because you can never get that second shot off before the enemy gets theirs off. The round itself, though, is very good on this vehicle, and once again, you can already see it in game. It is the DTC-10125. It pens 577 at 0, but the main thing is it pens 333 at 60 degrees, which is good enough to be able to go through everything, even if you have to aim for weak spots. And it also gets access to a funny HEVT shell, which is the DTB-12125, and this one can actually be used to go after helicopters. It has a really large trigger radius of 7 meters and a arming radius of, or arming distance, of 500 meters. So it's really good with the laser rangefinder coupled with it to go after helicopters which are hovering or, aircraft which are coming in. It does mean, once again, though, you have to reload the gun, and since it is a low silhouette vehicle, its gun elevation isn't the best. What you're looking at for it is only 14 degrees. So the angle that you have to be at compared to the helicopter is a lot harder to get to compared to, other vehicles. It will have smoke grenades, it will have, the decent mobility, it will have the decent targeting speed. Overall, it will be a fine premium. The main problem right now is it's at 10.7, and 10.7, it gets fully updated a lot into 11.7, since that's the top BR, that's the one that people like to play. But at the same time, we haven't had a lot of decompression in the game for ground recently, and since we have a lot of vehicles at the top tier which are just kind of sat there, which are very different in usability, e.g. the Leopard 2A5 compared to the Leopard 2A7, both the same BR, completely different playstyles because of what they have access to. One is just significantly better than the other one. There will eventually be decompression that will come in, and that will mean that the Al-Khalid will be out of that top tier BR bracket, and it will be able to have fun, just like the 10.3s do right now, which is where a lot of the other premiums sit, which people play, which the Al-Khalid matches up very well against. Stuff like the Western MBTs, like the Abrams, the Leopard 2A4, and things like that. The Al-Khalid 1 can easily go toe-to-toe and win very efficiently against them. So that, to me, is a good selling point of this vehicle. As I've said for many years as well, China is slowly but surely getting more and more things, and the tech tree now is huge. There's a lot of stuff to enjoy, there's a lot of stuff to have a bit of fun with, and I would highly recommend playing it if you haven't yet. And if this is your first step into that world, then it's a pretty good step. There's nothing that's really going to stop you taking this. And also, China is one of the only nations with now a 10-7 lineup, so maybe you can get some pretty boosted matchmaking with it until the decompression comes in. It might also happen the other side happens and you just get creamed, but sometimes you got to take that chance. As always, though, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.